Thought you might need these. And the hot water is on if you think you can make it up to the bathroom.
I'm sorry about last night. I was a little, overtired.
Overtired and emotional. Drink is not the answer, Gloria.
It was drink that got me into this mess. Cheers.
She'll be back in London by now. Back in the arms of her lover, no doubt.
Oh, please don't upset yourself.
Unless she was telling the truth. Maybe it was just the once.
Classic damage limitation. Her dirty little secret's out, so she's covering her back.
All those lonely nights, lying in bed, missing her. All the time she was amusing herself with that whey-faced milksop.
I am sorry, Eric.
I thought she loved me.
She's not worth this.
She's still my wife.
Look, I'll take care of everything here. You get yourself home.
Home is where the heart is. I no longer have a home.
I didn't expect you back till this afternoon.
Oh, Mrs. Andrews popped her clogs last night, bless her. Leaving me time to grab a bit of lunch.
But everything's all right, isn't it?
Why wouldn't it be?
Only there was something from hospital for you in post this morning.
Oh, just a follow-up note from the midwife. Usual procedure after a miscarriage.
But you're okay.
You were the first person to know if I wasn't. Am I the sort of woman who would suffer in silence?
I had a word with my mum.
Bet you got an earful.
No, she's fine. She's been there herself. She understands what you're going through, probably better than any of us. And she wants to help. You'd have to be so big and brave, you know. We're all here for you.
I know, but there's nothing wrong. There's no need to worry about me. Look, I have to be at the health centre in half an hour.
Right, love. Are you sure you're all right? Oh, the phone card must have run out.
How is the happy camper?
Not very good. She sounds so down. And you hear all these stories about what people do to themselves in prison.
Not charity style. Tough as our Shadrach's liver, she is.
Marlon, would you go and see her? Would you take her something to read and some more baccy?
Since when has she been a smoker?
It's like gold dust in there. They trade it. Makes a change from her using her body, though. Or maybe she's a bit scrawny than they like 'em in there.
Kane, that's enough.
I'll get down there when I've done this lot.
Never could resist a lost cause, could you, Marlon, eh?
She's imprisoned. It's not like she can nip to the corner shop.
Or maybe it's the thought of all them women locked up day and night, just desperate for the sniff of a real man. Is that it, eh?
I said enough for Kane.
You're sick. You know that?
Yeah? And you're one sad sap. She's just using you, like she uses us all just when it suits her.
I was hoping to catch Siobhan.
Oh, you just missed her. Why, what's up?
You do know she missed her first prenatal scan. I've rearranged, but she knows how backed up they are. She never even bothered to cancel.
Prenatal scan? What are you on about?
To check all's well with the baby.
You're meant to be a midwife, aren't you?
Yeah, that's why I'm here. She's got to start looking after herself.
You don't know, do you?
Is everything all right?
I mean, to have the lurid details of your personal life splashed all over the newspapers. I wouldn't like it, would you?
Couldn't think of anything worse.
Not that my private life's ever racy enough to attract a newspaper. More's the pity.
I'm just off to Lou.
Hurry up. Come on, ladies, back to work.
We're only having a tea break.
Which seems to have lasted since you arrived this morning.
Oh, come off it, Steph. It's only half an hour before lunch. It's not as if his lordship's around to crack the whip.
Look, I think we should all pull together in Eric's time of trial. Good of you to turn up, Lisa.
Mr. Pollard knew I'd be late. Where is he?
He's at home. Sick. He's chucked Gloria out.
Well, he could have told me. Right, if there's anything you need, I'll be in the office.
That won't be necessary, thank you, Lisa. Before he left, Eric was adamant that he passed the reins over to me.
But I am the relief manager. That's what he pays me for.
That might have been the case, but not anymore. I'll see to the managerial side. You can supervise the shop floor. I'm only passing on Eric's wishes. And now, I suggest we get on with it.
But she said she'd seen you the day after she came out of hospital.
She could have seen one of my colleagues. I only got back from leave yesterday.
What, and you never bothered to look at your notes before you came round here reading the Riot Act?
I checked them as soon as I found out she'd skipped her scan, and I swear there's no record of any of this.
But she was admitted. She had a miscarriage and no one bothered to write it down. You even sent her a follow-up note, for God's sake.
Follow-up notes? We don't send follow-up notes.
Oh, no wonder people complain about the NHS. Have you any idea how she'd have felt if you'd have come steaming in, accusing her of missing appointments?
Of course, and I'm glad that didn't happen. There's obviously been some sort of communication problem. I'll look into it.
He's indisposed. Personal problems.
Who answered the phone?
Steph Stowe.
Oh, I knew it. That amoral gold-digging harpy's tried to pilfer my husband.
Oh, try to avoid jumping to conclusions.
Well, if she thinks she can pinch him from under my nose, she's sadly mistaken. Try the home number again for me, would you, Edna?
He didn't answer the last 6 times. I don't think he wants to talk to you, Gloria.
Well, then I'll make him. One more of these, I'm going round there.
Oh, in that case, look, try to avoid the consumption of more alcohol.
Same again.
She were only at the hospital a few days ago. They can't even keep track of that. Makes you wonder what would happen if you were seriously ill, doesn't it? And it's a good job she didn't get to Siobhan. She's been upset enough about losing the baby. She needed this like an hole in the head.
Eric,
Thought you'd be back in London by now.
I need to speak to you.
Well, I don't wish to speak with you. Good afternoon.
Wanted to see me?
Close the door. Something's been bothering me, Shell.
Oh, yeah.
Something Gloria let slip while we were having a chat. About me spending time as a guest of Her Majesty.
You mean she knows you've been in prison?
It seems so. And that got me thinking. I thought, how on earth would Gloria Pollard find out something like that?
I don't know.
And then it hit me. I thought there's only one person in this village could let slip that bit of information. But she wouldn't grass up her best friend to a toffee-nosed bit like Gloria. She wouldn't stoop so low, would she? Fat Shelley Williams.
Just give me 5 minutes. Our marriage is worth that much at least.
What's the point? Spare yourself with the humiliation and go.
I know it looks bad, but with a bit of work, I think we can salvage something from this mess.
I wish I could share your confidence. Just give me your keys. The sooner we get this over with, the sooner you get back to your boyfriend.
He's not my boyfriend. He never was my boyfriend. I want us to put this behind us, Eric. I want to come back.
It's all right, darling. There are plenty more victims roaming the corridors of power. You'll soon find another victim.
All the problems in our relationship can be traced back to one thing. Politics. Politics has ruined our marriage.
Yeah, well, I warned you about the dangers of your vaulting ambition before you abandoned me for Westminster. But you insisted you knew best.
I was wrong. Which is why I'm giving it up.
Don't make empty promises, Gloria.
I've taken the plunge. I've taken the Chiltern Hundreds.
No.
I won't be sitting in the house again in a few days. I'll be relieved of the burden, and I did it for you. For us. I've resigned my seat to save our marriage.
Emmerdale, sponsored by Heinz Salad Cream, is all going on. Emmerdale, sponsored by Heinz Salad Cream, is all going on.
I'm the best friend you've ever had, Shelley. In fact, I'm the only friend you've got in the world, and you treat me like this.
It was an accident, I swear.
Thought you'd found yourself a new chum, did you?
No.
Thought someone had finally taken an interest in you. Buy you a drink, did she? And then you thought you'd drop a juicy nugget into the conversation. Make it seem like you were worth talking to. When it was me she was interested in all the time.
I'm sorry, Steph.
You're useless, Shell. You know that. Always have been, always will be. Now get out of my sight.
After all it took to get you to Westminster. What a waste.
You've no idea what it's like. Late night sittings in the house. Mountains of paperwork. Then home to a cold flat and an empty bed.
Until you hired a researcher to warm it up for you.
How many times, if I hadn't thought you were involved with Steph Stokes, none of this would have happened in the first place.
Oh. So it's my fault that you sought solace elsewhere, is it?
No, it's nobody's fault, but it made me realise status, achievement, success, they're all worthless without love. So, I've given up my seat in Westminster. I want to come home.
Listen, I'd offer you a cup of tea, but I can't remember I put the kettle.
I've got a better idea. The first of many housewarmings.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we do this later? I've got a bit of a drive this after.
Oh. It's just that I took the day off to get you settled in.
I know, and I'm sorry. Charity rang up early. She's in a right state, apparently.
You're off your rocker, you?
No, she just needs some stuff taken over, that's all.
You do know that if Zoe finds out, you'll be out on your ear before you can say sitting tenant.
It's only a one-off. It's a mercy mission to a relative in need.
Well, I hope so. Patricia's sake.
Let's spend some time together, away from here, away from London.
I can't leave the business.
Let's see if we can make this work. I love you, Eric, and I know underneath all this anger, you love me. Please, leave that and listen to me. I've resigned my seat for you. Please do this one last thing for me.
I'm sorry, Eric, but when you didn't answer my calls, I thought... Ah, I see the problem.
Get out! You've done enough damage already.
Oh, I think you've managed that nicely on your own.
My husband and I need some privacy. Tell her, Eric.
Please, could you give us a moment?
You haven't let her talk you round, have you, Eric? After all we read in the papers. Her and Hilary at it like knives. Him waxing lyrical about the attractions of the older woman.
You either tell her to go or I do.
Fine. If you're happy to let her walk all over you, then that's your business. I'll leave you in peace.
Goodbye, Gloria. Good luck.
You heard the man.
Why can't you see what she's doing? You are just part of her game plan. You have to open your eyes.
There are still laws in this country for slander.
I meant every word I said. And I always will. Remember that.
Some women just can't take rejection, can they?
Oh, so close. So close to taking her back.
I know. It's not easy, is it? But you deserve better.
I'm only half a man without my Gloria. How the hell am I going to live without?
Oh, my God, I don't have to go back till next week. He may be in his 90s, but that still doesn't stop him from pinching my bum whenever I turn my back. I'm amazed he's still got it in him.
Carol came round this morning.
Carol?
Wanted to know why you hadn't turned up for your scan. Hadn't got a clue about the miscarriage.
You put her right, did you?
Well, she reckoned there'd been some sort of clerical mistake. Wants you to ring her.
Thanks, I will. This sort of admin cock-up happens all the time.
Well, you told me you'd been in to see the midwife the day after. She'd no record of that either.
That's because I never went. I couldn't face it, so I skipped the appointment.
So why did you tell me you had?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought if I told you I'd missed it, you'd only have worried.
She didn't know anything about that follow-up letter you got this morning either.
She's been away on holiday, she won't have caught up yet.
Well, she said she'd checked. Said there was nothing about any of this in your notes.
She's wrong, all right?
What was that letter you got from the hospital this morning?
I told you, my follow-up.
Well, she reckons they don't send follow-up letters out.
Well, she's no idea what she's going on about, has she? She's not all right coming round here winding me up, persecuting you.
What's going on? Why are you being so weird?
Why can't you just all get off my back?
Well, it don't add up, Shiv. You ain't got anything you want to tell me, have
No!
Because it wouldn't matter, you know, if there'd been a mistake. You're not still pregnant, are you?
No, I am not pregnant.
Right, well, what is it then?
I can't keep lying to you. This is what was in the post this morning, all right?
A scan appointment?
That's why Carol came round. As far as she's concerned, I'm still pregnant.
But you said you lost the baby.
It wasn't a miscarriage, Paul.
Why? After all these months wanting our baby, why change your mind now?
I never wanted it in the first place, you knew that.
But you didn't say anything. I thought you'd come round. What made you get up on Wednesday and decide you didn't want our child?
I went through the procedure about 3 weeks ago.
You've been lying to me for 3 weeks? You've been letting us all think you're pregnant for the last 3 weeks?
Only because I knew you'd react like this!
And when you said you'd lost it, you let me think we could try for another. You stood there and you listened while I went on about having more kids. You lying evil bitch!
Steph and I had words. I couldn't help myself.
May I?
Feel free. And if you dare say moment on my lips, a lifetime on my hips, I'll smack you. Week 1 of my healthy eating regime, and look at me. Fat, sugar, carbohydrate overload.
There's no harm in enjoying your food, Shelley. We all have our little weaknesses, as you can see.
It's taken me ages to get down to this size, and look at me, I'm hardly Kate Moss, am I? It's disgusting. No willpower, that's my problem.
Let's see what happens if we apply 2 minds to the problem.
It's really kind of you, Alan, but you'd be wasting your time.
Now, let me be the judge of that. Now then, do we finish the packet before we begin?
Oh, beginning to think you'd all written me off.
Enjoy it, did you? Give you some sort of kick watching me make a cut for a kid that didn't exist, that were never going to be born?
I knew this is what would happen. This is why I couldn't tell you.
Oh, that why you couldn't tell your mate, Carol? I suppose it wouldn't go down too well in caring profession, would it? Older maternity leave. I've just had an abortion.
I was going to tell her when the time was right.
But you had to be forced into telling me, your own husband. You can't even defend yourself, can you? Have you no conscience at all about what you've done?
It was not a decision I made lightly, but it was the right thing to do. Now it is over, I'm done with, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it for the rest of my life.
My mum told me this morning. You said a baby would be an inconvenience. I didn't believe her at first, but she were right. That's all our child was to you, wasn't it?
I didn't mean it, she was winding me up.
So you just decided it'd be more convenient to get rid of it. Convenient for who, eh? It were my baby too, Siobhan. What about me?
Right, they've got you back here, so, nice to see you. Let's be off.
Hold on. You've only been here 2 minutes. Please, will you stay a bit longer?
What for?
Conversation. News of home, a bit of gossip.
Tricia's coming back next week.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, me and Paddy spent today lugging stuff over to Pear Tree. We can't really afford it, but we've got to have our own place.
They won't let me out on bail unless I've got a permanent address, man.
Hello, Tricia. Hi. Mwah. Lovely to see you. Listen, you don't mind if Charity takes alternate nights, do you?
I promise I'll never lay another finger on you.
It can't work. I'm sorry.
Marlon, I hate it in here. Everybody hates me because they think I'm loaded. I'm counting every minute of every hour of every day.
Maybe you should do something constructive, like start writing a prison diary, for example.
You are my one and only hope of getting out of this place. Do you know that?
Anything but that.
Look, I miss home. I miss Debbie. I never thought I'd say this, but I even miss you, Marlon. Please just do this one small thing for me.
I would if I could, but I can't. Listen. I'll ask around, see if there's anybody who can. Don't worry, we'll sort something out. We'll get you out of here.
We agreed about a termination. We discussed it. You thought like I did. The timing isn't right. You don't want a kid just yet.
In theory, yeah. I thought we weren't ready, but when it came down to it, I couldn't let you go through with it.
But you were happy enough for me to have had a miscarriage.
Oh yeah, I were ecstatic. Source of great jubilation. My wife's just lost our baby. Hang out the flaming bunting.
I thought it would be kinder this way, that you wouldn't get hurt or upset, that I wouldn't have to put you in a position where you'd have to make that choice.
So you took it all on yourself. Very noble of you.
I was thinking of you, Paul, of you and me and what we have together. We can't even look after a dog, never mind a baby.
Well, we'll never know now, thanks to you.
We've got all our lives to have a family. When we're ready. I knew you wouldn't be able to deal with it.
It's you I can't deal with. You've lied to me like you don't care, like I don't matter.
So wrong. You are everything to me, Paul. I only lied because I didn't want us to come to this. I didn't want to hurt you.
Well, tough you have. The most important decision we'll ever have to make, and you didn't even bother to tell me. Well, if that's what you want, you've got it. From now on, you're on your own.
Coming up, he thought he could control them both. Now he could lose everything. The Lord of these Rings is about to fall. Coronation Street, next. Then at 8, those cowboy craftsmen are still at it, in House of Horrors. And that's followed by Airline at 8:30.
Emmerdale sponsored by Heinz Salad Cream. It's all going on.